Okay, so I have to share a fun little story. Last night when I was working at my second job, I work at a department store. It's corporate America. And busy. And there's this sweet boy that came in. I don't know, he's probably my son's age. He's probably about my son's age. And he was wearing a Notorious B.I.G. shirt, Biggie. And I saw it. I was like, ooh, I love your shirt. I love me some B.I.G. I love me some Notorious B.I.G. I love his music. And so we got to talking a little bit, and I was like, dang, it's a shame what they did to him. He's like, I know. He's like, always the greats. I was like, I know. I was like, he said, could you imagine if he was living through what we're living? I was like, ooh, he'd be coming up with some good music. I know that's right. If he was living through what's going on right now, he'd be throwing out some bangers. And he's like, yeah, for sure. And he's like, we need some more greats, in this world. And I could feel the genuineness behind that comment. I could just feel it, just in the eye contact, the facial expression. And that's the thing people don't understand is that I can pick up on things when it comes to conversations, words being used, gestures, eye contacts, whether that be with me or it be I'm surrounded by people and there's a conversation transpiring outside of me. I can pick up on those energies too. And just in reference to what's being said, the body gestures within it, as well as the tone of it, as well as what's conversating, because there's a lot of things transpiring around me right now in reference to illusions and tactics. Just honestly, to be quite frank with you, there's just a lot of cleanup happening right now. There just is. I mean, it is what it is. You fall in the category, whatever that looks like for you. A lot of people have found themselves in a bit of a pickle, and they're trying to clean things up before things hit the fan. And I get it. I don't fault you for that. And so it's one of those things. I'm here for it. There needs to be some cleaning up, in a lot of different areas, a lot of different industries, a lot of different organizations. There needs to be a lot of religious groups, a lot of churches, politicians, everywhere. There needs to be a solid cleanup. We need to go ahead and do a reset, because somewhere along the way we mess things up. All of us. And it's for the desire of money. It's for the desire of fame. It's for the desire of status quo. It's for the desire of being right. It's for the desire of control. It's for the desire of power. And it really stems from all that. It's from jealousy. It's from envy. It's from hate. And it just does. That's something that came to me on my way home from work. Just thinking about things, something came over me in reference to my experiences at the churches in the last 11 years of my life, and just how sad and disheartening that we live in a world now that I know without a doubt, with every beacon fiber bone in my body, that there are a plethora of religious groups and churches that are sending out wrong messages, that are being ran almost in a venture of cult-like, and really misusing God's word, his messages, and what he believes in and what he stood on and what he did by sending his son to die on the cross, and how we've just totally weaponized it. And it's like, in that mere moment when I was thinking about it, it's just like my heart hurt just thinking about the severity and the gravity of it, and how within the religious groups, within churches, within the dynamics of this, there's just a plethora of people, millions, that just don't find an issue in it. They don't find an issue in monopolizing the system within religion, within nonprofits, within churches, within tithing, within the money that they acquire, whether that be for the government or whether that be for the congregation that comes in, and where it goes to and all this stuff. I mean, and it's all the way up said ladder. And so it's just, it hurts me to the core. You know, you got to understand, when you build an intimate relationship with God, it's like your father. It's like your confidant. It's like your spouse. You know, he's like your spouse. You know, and it's like, how do you feel when people are attacking you and your family and your loved ones? It's like stings to the heart, right? And so it's hard to wake up to that and just see it on the grandiose scale. For me, it is. I mean, again, to each their own. I'm not faulting anybody for disagreeing with me, not seeing it, all this stuff. I'm not by any means. I'm just saying, for me, it hurts me to my core. And so that's something that came to me on my way home because of an interaction I had yesterday, and I just saw right through it. Clear as day. And I handled it accordingly. And it's one of those things. And let's see the next flying monkeys that come in, you know? That's where I'm at. It's one of those things. I'm still trying to wrap my head around why people would do and say and take the actions that they have taken towards me, towards my son, and think that there's no repercussions to it. I mean, land on an answer and then come talk to me about it, and then we can go from there. Right? Because I'm more than willing to take accountability, but it's one of those things. I'm not going to give people a green light and assume, you know, that everything is based off ball and chains, blackmail, and coercion, and then allow people to still spit in your face. You know, people can do whatever they want to do behind closed doors, be affiliated with whatever they want to be affiliated with. That is their free will. They're entitled to have that, and I want them to have that. But it does not mean that they're going to come into my world and do that. Absolutely not. And it's just one of those things. You know, you got to get to that place within your world. It doesn't mean you need to go out here and be callous or vengeful. Not by any means. There's a difference between sticking up for yourself and moving in vengefulness. Here's a huge difference. And I think it's comical because people know what they did. Things aren't working out the way that so-and-so and so-and-so said it would, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and you know, and then it's of course my fault. No, that's not the case either. No sirree. Gonna have to go back to the drawing board with that one, you know. And it's not me, you know, being conceited. It's me being confident and knowing who I am, who I'm called to be, knowing what I've walked through, knowing my part that I played in it, and more than willing to take accountability, but not giving people the green light to take advantage of a system that my son is in, and that my son will at some point in the future have a family, and I'll have grandbabies, and I have to do my part. You know, we're all put on this earth to do our part and do right by one another. And the only way for change is to be the change. You can't talk about change and then go into the world and not be the change. And it takes a certain criteria of every individual to be a part of the change, right? But it also takes understanding your worth and your value and not being doormat to people. We were not put on this earth to be doormats for other people. Especially when they don't have the ability to have a constructive conversation. A two-way constructive conversation. It's more than possible. And these people are just not willing to do it. So, at the end of the day, you have to find what makes you happy within